starting a little bit early. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. If you're new to my channel, subscribe down there. Like my videos, share my videos with your quilty friends, as well as comment if you're watching replays. So we're on the new internet. And, excuse me. We're on the new internet. We're in the garage. I'm hooked to the long arm. And we figured since I have to work out here anyway, we might as well, even though I've already showed you guys how to double crosshatch, we're going to see if the new internet shows you a much more clearer way of me going and staying focused and so on and so forth while I'm doing this. So that is why I'm just going to redo this whole double crosshatching, because that's where I'm at on this quilt that I've been working on. And we'll see how that goes, so you could see a clear, more hopefully auto-focusing with the speed of the internet type deal going on. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, bam, just like that, and we're gonna see how well this goes. Oh, I need my anti-shake thing. I'm also connected to a plug because my phone does not have that good of a charge right now. So hopefully that doesn't interfere. I doubt it will, but we'll see. So I'm just going to come right here. We're going to adjust this just a little bit. There we go. That should be good. And I'm going to just start working, and hopefully the video looks clear. Hopefully you guys are seeing that I'm live and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop my needle down over here. And I'm working in the pink section doing double cross hatching. So I'm going to come down just a little bit. If you're new to my channel, I am quilting on a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition. It's an 18-inch machine. Technically, you only get like 16 inches of quiltable space, but whatever. On a 12-foot frame in my garage. And that's just what I work on. So, for anybody that was curious. And I'm working on just a personal, most likely for sale quilt when it is finished. I'm double cross hatching. So that means, if you can see up here behind here, it's a double line both ways on a cross hatch instead of a single line. And the second line is a 1/4 inch away from the first line, and each in between there is an inch between the first line and the third line. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Well, I am going to make all this cross-hatching line up throughout the whole entire quilt. I'm actually going from previous cross-hatching lines, so that way when you look at the quilt, you can see that the line should continuously run through no matter where the cross-hatching is, hopefully. So I'm going off previous line, so I would line my 1 inch marking on my ruler, which is, you could see a lot better now. There is, inch. When you line your foot up with these rulers, it is a 1/4 inch away from the needle. So if I'm like right here, there's a 1/4 inch from here to the needle. That just gives you your straight line. Now, if I want a 1/2 inch away from the needle, I would line it up on this 1/2 inch line on whatever line I'm working on. So if I was working right here, say going straight down, I would line my 1/2 inch mark away from that line, just like this, and then put my foot on the outside of that. That would give me a 1/2 inch away. If I want directly on, like stitching in the ditch, you would hold your ruler a 1/4 inch away from where you're trying to stitch. If you want an inch away, you would put your inch marking, and again, most of these rulers should have all these markings, so you can see 1/2, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and this next one would be 2, so on and so forth. If you wanted to quilt 1 inch away from an edge of something, you just line your 1 inch line, put your, foot on this side and quilt down that way. So that is how these rulers work, especially the ones with markings. They do have rulers without markings, but those are just for like straight lines and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be lining my 1 inch line with my lining from up here. I'm also making sure that this line on here, which is my 45-degree angle, is also straight with my seam right here, as well as this 45-degree angle over here is running straight on there. So I'm just going to line things up. And it's not going to be ever that perfect because I did have a little bit of wiggling and wobbling going on, but I am going to quilt from here to there. And then I'm going to go 1/4 inch away and quilt from there to there. And then I'm just going to keep taking myself down. You can use your ruler or not.
See those lines.
And quilt again from here to there.
I've never been able to see your lines when I'm on the tablet.
Yeah.
This is the first.
I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to come down, line it up. And I just keep lining up my 1 inch mark and then scoot over, line up 1/4 inch away until the whole area is filled. So I can use the seams as my guide or not. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm lining up. Huh?
You sure you set this up? And
It says it's live. I did go early. Notification will go on right when the video was supposed to be on.
Didn't you tell Kim you were?
Yeah, but she could be napping.
That's okay. It's okay, you have me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just lining it up. I quilt a little bit. I stop. I adjust my ruler.
Feisty lady says hi.
Hello, feisty lady. Name sounds new here. Are you new to my channel?
It's a cool name though, and her picture's of a little doggy.
Aw, cool.
My wife is a feisty lady too, so.
Yep. So I'm only going to be able to do what's in my throat space.
Yep, she's new to your channel.
Oh, awesome. Don't forget to subscribe. I long arm quilt and I make quilts and I do all sorts of stuff on my channel. All quilting related, of course. I'm a quiltaholic. And I love to teach.
Normally we have a lot more people on too. A lot.
This is a Thursday at 1 p.m.
Yeah, maybe everyone's at work.
So I'm just lining up my previous line on my 1 inch mark. And then I quilt 1/4 inch away.
I subscribed the other day. Becca recommended you.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, we watch a lot of Becca. It's funny. We're trying to get her out here to come visit so she can play on Tiffy's long arm. Because she wants to buy a long arm of her own. So yes, we talk a lot to Becca.
Oops, I skipped. Every once in a while that happens when I press my power button to stop. Okay, this is probably going to be the last pass because I'm in my throat space, I think, all the way. No.
Okay. Hey, Heather's here. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather. Oh, maybe we can go one more.
Oh, Feisty sews on vintage machines. That's cool.
Oh, yes, very cool.
Tiffany wants an old vintage machine.
Yes, I do.
We seen one at, was it Goodwill or something one time?
Yeah, we didn't get it.
No. But it was really cool looking.
Oops, come on, stay on the line. Is it staying focused the whole time?
She says I only have 200 or so, LOL.
What?
Good lord. Tiff has 3 sewing machines and not one of them's vintage.
All right, so I'm going to stop my machine and I'm going to advance it so that I can continue the rest of the way this way. See that secure Wi-Fi came up again?
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say about that.
There. I can't go too high just yet because I have to still be able to fit right there.
Heather, since you've been on these videos many times, we're also doing internet testing. That's what we've been doing all day. So what do you think? Is this clear? Do you notice any difference?
Out here on the long arm, at least.
You've watched many of Tiffany's other videos. Hi, Kim. Kim, what do you think? Is the internet clearer out here in the garage at all than it used to be in other videos? Because as you know, we're doing internet testing. Feisty Lady says people give them to her. They know I like to fix the vintage machines to bring them back to life. That is awesome.
Yes,
That's like a cool hobby, fixing old sewing machines.
Yes, it is.
I think that's awesome. Heather says it seems pretty good to me. No buffering, fairly clean picture. Sounds good too. So it's better than the normal videos out here in the garage because we just switched today. Kim says, "Let me get my glasses." Much better.
How funny.
I took my glasses off. Tiffany, blurry. Kim says, "Clear picture." Well, for me, watching her on the tablet, this is the first time I can actually see her lines on the quilt. I can never actually see her lines on the quilt from watching on the tablet here. And I'm standing right next to her.
There. Should be all the way now. I'm advancing the quilt as I go so I can do all this way first because my hand was killing me trying to do the whole back and forth thing the other day. So I'm doing one angle first and then going back and doing the other direction. This is pretty much almost the last of this quilt, is all this cross-hatching. And then the only other thing I need to do is finish just the cross-hatching and then the flying geese at the up and down, top and bottom only borders, and then the
What are you going to do?
final border all the way around. Same thing as the top.
Oh, okay.
Spirograph looking thing.
Okay, yes, I remember the spirograph. Yeah, wasn't curious. I was.
Because everything else
curious.
is finished on this. I'm tempted to pick out an area that I messed up on the last video, but
Heather says, but
that's
I
just a
also have to
temptation.
remember that my internet sucks. So if anything starts to mess up, maybe on my connection, not yours.
yeah, well,
Well,
we splurged, for those that haven't heard. We splurged for better internet so that I can have better quality videos.
yes, we spent more money to get a different internet company. We only have two. And they hooked it up last night, but it was not working. So they came this morning and they spent close to 2 hours here. And they have it working, but it's still not, they still have to have somebody come out in another 3 days. They said 72 hours. And hopefully then it will be perfected. But for right now, it is working. It's just not working as good as it should be, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, Kay says hi.
Hi, Kay. Welcome, everybody that's joining. I'm going to move my sleeves up out of the way. Maybe it won't be such a distraction for me. Oh, another stitch that way.
Kay, what do you think? Is the video clearer than normal? You're on here a lot. Kim has biscuits in the oven. It's very grainy. Kim, it's a good thing I just ate because you'd be making me hungry.
I haven't eaten yet. Don't make me hungry.
Well, then I won't read to you all the stuff when they start talking about food because they love to talk about food. You know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Vicky. Vicky, you on here yet? Vicky gets on. Oh, Vicky's a food one. And she makes me so hungry. All the food she's always talking about making. Kay says, yes, it is. Your video is better. That's
Well,
good, Kay.
the internet should be fast enough for my autofocus to consistently work in a clearer speed.
Heather says her internet upgraded. They'd have to build a 60-inch tower on her property. Goodness.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crazy.
We have a neighbor just 3 houses up the street that has one of those big towers in his backyard, but we don't do any internet or anything. Maybe some cell phone tower. I'm not sure what it is. It's so tall though he has the lights on top of it for airplanes and whatnot at night. Huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so far you guys are enjoying it.
Sorry I'm not as talkative. When I'm like in concentration mode and I don't have music, which helps me concentrate, I tend to be quieter.
It's okay, they understand. You got Mojo on.
When I'm out here normally, I'm like blasting the stereo and dancing around. Not really dancing, but kind of wiggling my hips a little bit.
Yeah, CJ comes out and asks her if she has it loud enough. Not me, I don't really bug her. But CJ will come out and ask her, Mom, do you have it loud enough?
I have it so loud that the neighbors can hear it usually. Unless I close the garage door, but I do it with the door open on a non-windy day.
Normally it's good music, so I like it.
But I usually dance around and sing. See, so you can see like right here, my line is still on, and as well as my 45-degree angle, so I haven't veered at all, which is a good thing. And then if I stop right here, oops, you can see that if I scoot it down, my line right here is also the same as my seam, as well as my 3/4 inch line right there. And I'm also stitching in a ditch without the ruler every once in a while. The only thing I can't control is the shaking of the machine, the shaking of the camera when it vibrates, because it's connected to the handles, which vibrate more than being on the machine. So that's my next goal, is to have a better mount on here. Other than that, the internet-wise, everything should be nice and good.
Well, we got everything connected. That's a target. Donna says, hi, Tiffany. Picture looks great.
Awesome.
Thank you, Donna. That hard here. This is the first time Aya can actually see the lines she's making on the tablet, because I'm reading the comments there on the tablet while she's doing it, and she's using the phone to make the video. And I've never been able to actually see her lines before. They were always too blurry. And I'm standing right next to her. Okay, so she made a teddy bag from the video.
Ooh,
from watching your
awesome.
video. She loves it. It's her new everyday bag. That is awesome, Kay. Teresa says hi. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Very strange that I'm not getting notified that you are on, and yes, I checked the bell. I always did before.
Yeah, I don't know. I put like a 20-minute warning on this video today. And I was just on a little bit ago with the test video, but I figured since I'm going to be out here anyway, I might as well test this.
And we've been doing internet test videos on
So
and off
my
throughout
next
the day.
line is literally stitching in this ditch, which is already stitched in. So I'm actually going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from that ditch now, because I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to just treat this next area. That way everything lines up as if this area is connected with everything else, which is what I've been doing. So now this line, the seam, is actually going to be where I would line up my 1-inch line for the next part.
Do you always get notifications when all your people go on?
I usually do, yes. There are a couple times I don't get notifications. And if I do, I get it right, like when they come on.
Yeah.
if you haven't noticed already, I am just doing across the whole entire thing one direction so that my hands don't get too tired, which was why I got so sore after the first day I did the cross-hatching. So this way is just helping me.
Kim says she didn't get the notification until just now, and she's already watching you.
That's crazy.
Yes, well,
could
maybe
be
everyone's having
YouTube.
internet issues.
That's probably why there isn't very many people on.
That could be. Oh,
That's fine. I'm hoping that the replay at least is a lot clearer than the last day that I did the cross-hatching. You know, that's all I'm really concerned about. That's why I chose to just continue on with our new internet.
Teresa said she didn't get notified for the test video either.
Interesting.
Kim says I can actually see what you're doing.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
Oops, I'm like totally...
All these times I've been on with her watching from the tablet, I could never actually see her make a line. They were always so blurry. I can actually see everything. And I'm standing 3 feet away from her.
I'm just gonna do that because that keeps my lines a little bit more straight. I've been asked recently what makes me choose the designs that I quilt on the quilts that I'm quilting, and to be honest, I just like to screw around with anything. Sometimes a quilt, the way it's put together, reads that it needs a certain thing. So like if the quilt is way too much circles and flowery fabrics, sometimes geometric quilting takes that away. If the quilt has too much geometric, sometimes quilting swirls takes that away. And with this one, it read cross-hatching because it has so much blank space. I wanted the fabric to have some kind of substance on it because the rest of the fabric is so bright and cheery. Adding to all the plain fabric made it more, I don't know, just made it look better, if that makes any sense at all. So that's how I choose. It just depends on the project.
Well, Teresa says, wow, the video is so clear. Great. And Kay says, my daughter wants me to make a Tiffy bag, makeup bag.
Oh, that would be cool. It can be done. Or you can just make them with crossbody straps only, which is another bag that I'm doing real soon because I got another order. Some people don't want the regular handles, they just want crossbody straps, although I still haven't figured out how to make those crossbody straps on that bag come out closer without stitching over them, without hitting the metal D-rings. I'm trying to be like very careful about that kind of stuff.
Teresa says, more dimensional?
Yeah. Plus it fills in a lot of blank space on this one. And look at me, I'm quilting horribly all of a sudden. That's okay, no big deal.
Do you want me to pick it out?
No, I'm not even worried about it, honestly.
Okay. Well, I don't want to pick. I can do
So
that.
I think it's gonna end again. Yep, it's ending again where this seam right here is the next line. So I'm just going to echo 1/4 inch from that as if it's my next echo. And that's what's gonna start it. And then I'm going to treat the seam as my 1 inch. So I'm going to line my 1 inch mark on my seam because that is how it's working out. So where the cross hatching continues through this whole entire quilt equally.
Hello?
And I'm stuck in my little weird spot on my frame. My frame has this weird divot or something. I don't know. We haven't figured it out. Somewhere in the middle.
Hi, Judy. Judy says hi.
Hi, Judy.
Kim says it's really nice stuff.
It better. I'm putting so much work into this quilt. I didn't have to. Usually on quilts that are just for, when I make them for tutorials, I usually only quilt edge to edge. But I decided because of what this quilt is and the whole color, too much bright color, I figured it needed to be downed. The color needed to be down by adding custom quilting in the empty areas instead of just an edge to edge. So this will be a custom one, which is not normal for tutorial quilts, but...
Well, Judy, what do you think of the picture? Is it much clearer? I'm asking everyone that normally watches.
Yep, all my regular subscribers that are on most of my videos, just let us know. The quality is a lot better. Especially out here on the long arm, because we really struggled with out here in the past. And this new internet should take a lot of that struggle away. Oops, no. I talk to myself while I do this too.
That's alright. It's the smartest person in the world to talk to. We had this conversation before online, and a lot of your fans agreed.
My hand is already getting tired, and I haven't even gone the other way yet. I am on the second triangle in this direction. Oops, I've only got 1/4 inch on this one, duh. I'm all like, what am I doing here?
Use the ruler in the orange fabric with the wishbone pattern in it.
No, this is all freehand. In all these areas is all freehand. I don't have a big enough arc to do this area, so all this is freehand. And I wanted it purposely to loop like this because if you remember the beginning up in the flying geese area, I did that loop where they cross over each other purposely. So I wanted that to kind of echo the look of that, except for the fact that I don't have big curved rulers. But I'm pretty okay with making my own curves. I did a couple quilts that I did the natural curves with, and they were kind of okay, but I added feathers in them, so it took away the look that my curves weren't perfectly curved.
Hey, Vicky. Vicky's got to go soon. She has a doctor appointment.
Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out for now. I'm just doing the same thing I did the other day, but should be better quality.
Yep, we're testing our new internet here and seeing how much clearer you guys can see it.
Even though I've already done this, it's okay.
Yeah, but they didn't see it very clear last time you did it. They can actually see all the lines and everything.
All right, so now that I've gotten to this area where it's big, huge, solid area, instead of crossing over here, I'm going to go up this seam and I'm going to come from one of these lines right here with my ruler to start my first one up there. So they should in theory match when I get to them. So I'm going to start up here. We're going to find a line to go off of. We're going to line that 3/4 inch or that 1 inch line up, and that'll be my first. We're gonna
Teresa says, and no spinning.
make sure that all of my 45-degree angles, so if I line up a 45-degree angle right here on this seam, as well as down here, everything looks good, lined up straight on this ruler. We're going to make sure one more time, right up to the
I
foot.
can't see the bottom seam.
That's
in
fine.
The camera.
That's
can only
fine.
See the top.
As long as my 3/4 or my 1 inch, why I keep saying 3/4, I have no idea. Line is lined up on that, and it is. So I'm going to start right here. That way, all of my cross hatching should, in theory, line up in this whole entire quilt. Oops, I hit a bump. That's okay, it happens. And I'm going to leave them because I don't care. So if I stop right here, can you see down here yet? Nope, you cannot.
Vicky's doctor comes up where she's at on Thursdays, so she's got to go see him. Well, I hope all goes well, Vicky.
Right there. Can you even tell that the thread is mint colored, or does it look white on the screen?
Honestly, to me it looks white.
Oh.
But I can see the colors. I can see your lines. Like I said, I could never see your lines before. That's so blurry. I guess if you pay close attention, it looks more like an
Okay,
office
can you
light.
see that now? These lines, if I line this ruler up, see,
Teresa says it looks
right
like.
next to it, you can see that this line equally matches up here. So like I said, in theory, which is now true, all of this is lining up. So that way everything is equal and looks good. Hopefully throughout the whole entire quilt. Come on. Like I told you guys, my machine is very, very sensitive to touch. I just barely move it and it starts stitching. So that one seems a little off, but whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little off. The rest of them are on, it looks like, though. That was supposed to cross all the way over, so it means I can't bring it down. So what I need to do is, I need to continue going upwards. So we're just going to advance the quilt and go upwards with that. I mean, de-advance the quilt. So that I can reach that top corner. Right. There. Okay. There should be good. All right, so now I'm back where I'm supposed to be. Except now I'm gonna
to not tell anyone.
take this line. Let me come down again because it goes about right there. And now we're going to make sure that it's straight, and it is. We're just gonna line that up, making sure that that's nice and straight right there. We're gonna continue the rest of the way. And we're just checking all my lines as I go. And the reason why I'm pulling and out of whack is because I was connected to a cord. Sorry about that, guys. Let me put you back into its normal spot. My phone wasn't charged enough. Nope. It's not long enough to reach over here. It's a 12-foot frame and a 10-foot charger. So it doesn't work very well.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to come down and do my 1/4 inch all the way until I have to put the quilt back again. Because we're going to have to roll it back the other way once I'm fully in my throat space, which is right there. So I'm going to leave my needle down, machine is off, and I'm going to go back the opposite way. Right there. So I'm going to have to go back and forth for a little while to complete this. This is not what I did on the first time around. The first time around I started going back and forth automatically. This time I'm not. So, oops. So now I have to actually advance and de-advance the quilt this whole time. Or Scotty can hold it, doesn't really matter.
Do you want me to hold it? Yes, I will happily.
Okay, well you're gonna have to wait till I at least get to my throat space.
Well, I know I'm not gonna. I like helping you. You know that.
Okay, we're gonna leave it right there. It's not moving.
You ready?
Yep. You have to loosen it to do it.
Oh, sorry. This one was loose.
Okay. So he's gonna do my rolling for me, so that way I don't have to keep pressing the stupid.
How far are you
Right
going?
there. That's fine. Just tighten it up.
I got her.
Keep that on.
I that to help a lot with this quilt, guys. I don't really do anything.
Oops. I hit like something. And we're in the throat space. Roll it back the other way. Right there should be good. Just tighten it up.
Yep.
This only works if you have someone to help you. When you want continuous lines and you don't want to have to backtrack. I was backtracking before. This time I'm saving on wrist pain and the back and forth to this rolling thing. And you guys can hear that it's so windy, it's blowing our garage door. Making funny sounds.
It's weird, it wasn't windy when the internet guys were here. Well, not near this bad. Tiffany?
Okay, roll. Right there's good. Just tighten it really good.
Hi, Heather.
Hello.
Heather says hi from Queensland. Heather, let us know what you think of the video quality. We're checking internet too here.
Roll. That should be good. Oh, I went way too far. I have to look up top to make sure that up there is just as far away. Pull it down just a little this time. That should be good. I'm always checking down below me and up above me, making sure that that line is still on that 1-inch line and is nice and straight.
Heather says the internet is great at the moment. Good.
Well, so far I haven't had no buffering or anything.
It's more expensive. So far we've had some problems getting it in. We technically switched yesterday, last night. We couldn't get anything connected, and the guys were here again today.
Roll it back just a little. Right there. Tighten it up.
For a good hour and a half. So they got everything connected, and then they got to come back in another couple days. They said they had to put in another work order to come back. So it's even better, hopefully. But right now, everything is connected and working.
Hold on, I might be able to. No, it's. Oh, yep, roll. Right there, stop.
Why would you. 1 little inch. You might as well just keep rolling.
Okay, now we can pop those in because we're in complete throat space.
I can help, honey. Let me help.
Okay. As you can tell, I'm only going one way at first. For those that are just joining. Because it's saving on my hands. That other night when I crosshatched, I sat in the room massaging my own hands for like an hour and a half. I was so sore.
How many different designs are you doing on this quilt?
Many.
Well, we got one in the yellow, one in the red. And let's see, there's 2 different ones in these ones, so that's 4. Then you have one on the borders, that's 5. And then one is this, what do you call this? The other border? The inner border?
And that's just the top and bottom border only for length.
Bottom border only. That's a design on its own, right? So that's 6. At least 6, Donna. Tiff got really creative with this one, and she's doing an outstanding job. My wife always truly amazes me with her talent. I actually enjoy standing here and watching her work.
Don't do that, Tiffy. Oh, for some reason. Okay, come on, come on. There we go. I got stuck right there. That's okay. Oh.
It's okay, you're getting close to being done. You know?
Yep. See, I don't know if you guys can see this, but every once in a while the puff folds it. I just turn that into a seam. I just stitch right over it. I push it down and turn it into a seam. I've done that quite a few times. Nobody ever knows. It's because I use really puffy batting and I'm not really taking it down completely. I am smushing it down as much as I can.
Why, thank you, Kim. Everybody to the thumbs up, share, and subscribe.
Yes, thank you.
And to hit the bell to get the notifications.
Yeah. And if your bells aren't working, just hit them again and readjust your settings. I've had to do that on a few of the channels I watch. But a lot of the channels I watch, I turn the notifications off because I watch so many. My phone goes off all day and all night because so many people are in so many different areas. And there's a little line right there. Let's go up a little. We're going to break thread because I got to put the quilt down a little so that I can complete the cross hatching in the top section of this little area before I go back to the other side and start going the other way. So give me a second to...
Heather says her husband is the one who, what's that word supposed to be? Heather skites about what I have done? Not me, unless someone asks me a question about it.
I got the hiccups all of a sudden.
Does that mean he likes and brags about it? Which is cool. I brag about my wife.
Alright, so now I need to go the other way that's empty. And the opposite way is pretty much the same exact thing, except I'm rulering from this side and I'm measuring from this line. So this becomes my 1-inch line instead of this line. Okay? So I'm just going to pop my needle down in this corner. And I'm going to take a drink of water before I start real quick.
There you go. There you go.
And I'm going to go up. About right there. Snip this away. And now I'm going to line my 1-inch line up with that first line, which I need to go back. It's always the first line when you're doing this. So I'm opposite now. So now my 1/4 inch away is on the opposite side. And line it up right there.
You're welcome, Heather. I tried my best.
What?
I only really get one job. That's to read for Tiff, so I gotta do the best I can. She she meant brags.
Oh.
She couldn't think of the right word. It's 6:45 in the morning there.
Ah. Good morning to you.
Yep, I don't know how much she even knows or realizes it, but yes, I show people that I see in stores. I just showed a friend of mine I saw in the grocery store the other day pictures of her quilts.
My friends are like, shut up, I don't want to hear about your quilting.
Heather
They're
says she's
annoyed
got
at
to
it.
do something for her hubby back soon. Well, we could make all kinds of comments on that, Heather, but I don't know if you want to hear what I'd have to say.
No. Okay. Now that I have completed that direction, I'm going to tie off right here, and I'm going to start the other, I think it's the other way, yeah. That, for me to go back the opposite direction and have the ruler in my left hand and not try to right hand ruler. I don't want a right hand ruler at all because that just kills my hand. So as you can see, the stitching so clear. Look at it, it's auto-focusing as I go. You could see how, oh, look at that little boo-boo right there. I'm going to leave it. I don't really care.
Kim says it's cold, windy, and cloudy. It's almost dark.
So you can see my other sections. You can actually see this darn spirally thing that I looked and watched my video the other day. It was so horrible. Oh my God, I couldn't
The
even
spirally thing is
tell.
beautiful. The video might have been horrible. Hold on, let's pull that thread out of the way so they can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
But now they can see what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
Now that our internet appears to be working quite well.
So you can see what that looks like. And I was gonna say, so you can see these lines up here. And if you follow these down, theoretically, they are supposed to be the same as these lines. And I can't get that all in one shot, but I'm gonna use my ruler to line up a line right there, right there, right
Heather
there.
says it's beautiful.
And yes, it is lined up all the way down here. Look, it's lined up.
Heather says I can still hear you, Scott, and it's on the computer what he needs her to do.
Yay, it's lined up. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. My other sides are lined up too, except for my little wonkiness at the top that I really want to pick out, but I don't at the same time. All right, now to go the opposite way. So,
Kay says, wow, I can see the line so much better.
yeah. Now that I'm going the opposite way. I'm going to start with this one here, work my way up, and then work my way down. No.
Did you go slow
It
enough
won't
through all
be.
this so they could see on the
Yeah.
camera? All these? Well, now that it's clear, I
Yeah,
want them
you
to see
guys
the whole
should be
thing.
able to see it perfectly.
Maybe now when we do a quilt de-stash thing and you guys can see all of her quilts, not just to buy, but to see her actual work, you can actually see how detailed they are and how intricate.
Yeah, so that's what I
So
did
then
in
we
those
show
areas.
off, because I love to show off her work. You guys can actually see how much she puts into these.
Okay, so, oh, nope, that does put me at my right hand. I want to work
That's
with
what
my
I like
left
about
hand.
her little mini quilt shows. It's
I
not
might have to go
really
from that
about selling
side
them.
to
It's
this
about
side.
showing it all off and seeing all the work she does.
I want to go from that
Pretty cool.
side.
Donna says, oh, the spirals look great. And Kim says, woohoo, Tiff.
No, this still puts me on my left hand, or my right hand as well. I don't want to use my right hand. Bah, humbug.
And Heather, if your husband is anything like
Okay.
me, I am not a computer person, so any computer help is like very much, needed and loved when my wife helps me with computer stuff.
All right.
I can manage to do some banking for her, and other than that, I'm not. the
Maybe if I
greatest
start from
computer
the
guy.
bottom, I'll be left-handed and hope that it matches up when I get to the top. How about that? Let's advance the quilt
Okay.
the other direction. So it's in my throat space. And we're just going to do a sew and hope. A quilt and hope.
Quilt and hope.
Quilt
Stop.
and hope that this lands, because I don't want to use my right hand at all. So I'm just going to
Can I help you more?
drop my thread
Is there anything
here.
I can do?
No, I'm just going to work. And
Okay.
if it doesn't line up, it doesn't line up.
You just work and get her done.
Yeah. So we're going to start by coming this way a little bit. Just to see. And we're going to just do two. We're going to line up this line right here. And we're going to use this seam right here at the bottom that you could see as my inch line. This will be, no, it has to be on the 1/2 inch because I need a 1/4 inch away. so that I can have my 2 starting lines. And I'm going to make sure that this is nice and lined up. That's nice and lined up. 3/4 inch. We'll do this right here. Everything seems straight. So my first will be this way. There we go. And then my second line will come down. That'll be good. Let's hope this comes lined up as the top. So my first sewn line, or quilted line, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be the one I line my 1 inch on. So I'm just going to make sure everything seems straight to me. Because I don't want to work the opposite hand. Not into it. Just not into it. So I'm going to go this way. And I'm out of bobbin, I think.
Is that what that noise was?
Yep.
I was going to ask you what that meant.
Give me 2 seconds. I think my bobbin. It kind of is like what happens when it Yep, it's out. See? Look at that. Bam. You guys hear that funky sound just now? That's the sound of a bobbin running out. And I have 3 bobbins left, so this better go.
Well, 4 with that one.
4 with this one, yes.
If you need, I can wind some bobbins for you.
Nope, that's not going to happen.
What?
The last time you wound them, I couldn't use them, remember?
Well, so we can do it again. Teach me again.
Okay. Where was I? Down
I'm
here?
trying to help.
I'm just going to go from up
God,
here.
let me do something.
Up here down. I got to check under there real quick. Oh, it did. It tangled. It tangled. Sometimes when a bobbin runs out while you're quilting, it'll tangle up. You got to be careful and watch that. Can I have the... Right here.
Big scissors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold this flashlight right here. Never mind, I got it.
Here, I'll do it. I'll hold the flashlight. You need to pick that out?
No, it's not horrible. It's just a little tangle.
Okay. Well, I can sit under here and pick if you need to.
I'm good.
You good? You put the flashlight? Okay.
Yep. Okay. Let's start this over.
Oh, Kim says she just shared with a couple of friends. Well, thank you, Kim.
All right.
Heather says if he doesn't practice, he'll never get it right.
Yeah, it's the bobbin winder. It's one of those cheap bobbin winders that they sent with this machine. It's actually pretty darn freaking horrible.
She does not like the bobbin winder.
Yeah, it's one thing that they should have sent something a little bit more top quality with. Was a better bobbin winder.
Heather says no, he doesn't know anything about computers, but she's had to learn over the last 10 years, and she's still learning. She writes everything down that she's learning to text on the phone. Yep, we do the same thing. Tiff and I both. Tiff actually has a notebook to write things down when she talks to people on the phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's because I forget everything. I need to check the tension real quick. It kind of sounds funny.
Okay, do your thing. Do you want me to
Nope.
hold the flashlight?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, it looks great. It just sounded weird for a second.
Yep. That's why I said, Heather, if he's anything like me, any sort of computer help is much appreciated.
All right. Now let's just keep going over and over and over until this side is.
When it comes to computer and internet things, goodness.
Come on. All right.
And nowadays, when you switch internet companies, they come and they hook the internet up to the house and they walk out. They don't hook up your devices. You have to hook up every one of your devices. That's why we didn't know last night until an hour after the guy left that our internet wasn't hooked up right. So we had to call, so they sent 2 people out again today. That's another reason why we're on here, so you guys can see how good our internet's working. So we can see, too.
I rewatched. Oop! I broke thread. I rewatched my test video though, and it was great. So.
Heather says she uses a notebook, too, to write things down. Yep, that's smart. Works. Heather says when it comes to internet things, I am the 18 plus that's there to oversee crap. LOL.
I'm not technology smart. Neither is Scott. We're still like stuck in like 90s and 80s.
Oh yeah, I can hook up VCRs like no problem. I used to hook two VCRs together and record stuff that you rented from Blockbuster or whatnot. Even though that was supposedly illegal, the people at Blockbuster are the ones that told me how to do it. And yeah, I used to do that for not just me, but for other people. I was good then, but nowadays, I can't figure out anything.
Okay, so I know you guys have seen me do this before. See how I have a loop? It's still connected. I'm just going to snip that loop. Oops. Find which one of these is the pooling, which would be this one. So this one's the pooling. So I'll just go ahead and snip this one. That way, it's snipped from the bobbin right at the tip, and I have no bobbin hanging underneath me, especially like if you have too much quilt hanging over and you can't like get to it. It's the best way to do that. I can't reach it yet. Just line this up again. Leave that down there. Snip my start. I try to have like flawless starts and stops so I don't build up a big old thread pile on the back side of the quilt.
Oh, don't say that, Heather. Heather says she's 69 on Saturday, so her mind is slowing down a lot lately. Don't say that.
That's not even that old anyway. Now, if you were 90, I would say, okay, that's age. Of course, I do know a 90-year-old that plays on technology every day. Oops, I had a
Billy
little...
says, my son, the computer tech, keeps us going. Well, Leroy's in his, what, late 70s, early 80s, and he's very technology savvy. He does a lot of tech stuff. Who are you talking about?
Jeannie, and I just had a tangle again. Can you guys see that?
Okay.
Sometimes the bobbin will get loose. It happens every once in a while.
Now, Billy's going to be 69 in May. Hi, Billy. How you doing, by the way? What do you think of Tiff's video here? Is it quite clear compared to other ones, since you've seen many of hers? We just got new internet, and we're testing it out.
Someone here?
Sounds like the mailman one.
So I just had a thread tangle on the bottom. It happens. It happens every once in a while. If I can get that top piece. You guys are going to like naturally roll. This machine likes to roll on its own. There's a ghost, a quilting ghost that wants to use this thing. I'm just going underneath and pulling those loose threads. And I got to pop the bobbin out and back in. For those of you who have long arms, you will know sometimes this happens. My thread got loose in the bobbin casing. So I'm just underneath the machine real quick. Alright. That's one thing about owning a long arm. You gotta crawl underneath it sometimes.
Yep, it was the mailman. We didn't get anything. No mail. Billy says it's very clean. Very
clear.
Yeah, very clear. I can see.
Awesome.
That's what she said. Well, that is awesome. So far, everybody's agreeing that our new internet was a good idea.
There we go. I have a whole pile down there. It's okay.
I know. I see it. I was just looking. I clean up your pile once it's done. You know that. I take care of it.
Alright, so I'm like getting to the top of my throat space, so I'm not going to be able to go much further. I will have to advance and have Scotty do the holding again soon.
Thank you, Ann. Ann says she's back from the test video. Focus for her. She changed her resolution and it looks great. It's very much better.
Yeah.
But we decided it was about time that Tiff wants to keep pursuing her dream and her hobby and her love for teaching you guys quilting and be nice if you guys could see her. So.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right here and have Scott take over on the handle holding. So if he doesn't get to all the comments, then that's because he's using the handles. Yep, there you go.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
So it goes towards me first.
Wait.
Right there. Right there's good. Right there's good.
Heather says, my sewing machine wants to work on its own. I sometimes have to turn it off to stop it.
That's not good.
It's possessed.
Yeah.
Lily says it should improve your videos a lot. Talking about her.
Hopefully. I kind of want to
Well,
make...
thank you, Teresa. You didn't do that.
What happened?
Teresa gave you $5. And she said, thanks for the better internet.
Thank you, Teresa. You guys know my opinions, though, on those super chats now. I just haven't sat down on a computer to get rid of it. Nope. Okay, advance
Well,
towards the
thank
back.
you, Teresa. We
Towards-
appreciate it.
Towards the back.
Oh, sorry.
Please.
I wasn't paying attention to you. I was reading.
A little bit more. Right there. That's good. Thank you. Tighten it. Thank you. I totally hit like a...
So
I'm
sweet of you,
totally
Teresa.
not
Billy
picking
says,
that
now
out.
I want to go to the rulers. Well, get her done, Billy. That's why Tip's doing that.
It's not that hard. I mean, you do have to figure out directions and stuff. That way you are always using your dominant hand or the one that your brain feels is the best hand for the ruler, you know, and the best hand for the ruler and the best hand to be on the handle of the machine itself, because my brain uses my right hand is my dominant hand. It is the handle hand as well. My left hand seems to do rulers quite well, but when I have to swap and do left hand ruler, right hand on the ruler, left hand on the machine, I cannot quilt for the life of me. I also cannot quilt for very good with both hands on one on each handle. I am really sloppy at that. I don't know why, I just can't do it. I'm just a one-handed quilter. All right, bring it back towards me.
Well, Tiff is not here just for teaching. She's also motivating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're very motivational.
Right there's good. Thank you.
I think you are.
It looks like a big old thread buildup here, but that's actually the top of a little piece of the fabric. It's not thread buildup at all. Just looks like it. I'll line that guy up right there. So if you guys didn't know, Scott is actually holding the long arm down at the end for me so that I can actually quilt within the throat space. Right there's good. Just tighten it up. I'll have to show you what it looks like from him holding it. It actually helps. That way I don't have to pop the darn thing or break thread or stop and start and have a bunch of stops and starts or crossing over stitches, like, you know, stitching on that same line or something a second time. So this is preventing me from doing that, having him down there holding the frame.
She's giving me my forearm workout.
Yep. All right, advance it. A little bit more. Right there's good.
Just say turn it. Turn it and then say done. Or enough.
So just because you guys can be mobile at any time, I'm going to slide you out of here so that you can see. There is Scotty and his, don't mind his shirt. I know it's probably scary for some of you. That is how he's holding it.
I don't even know what's on it. It was just a free shirt.
Roll it so
given
they
to
could
us.
see how you do this. Just roll it anyway.
Huh?
So he
Oh, you want me to
unloosens
roll it?
one and or goes the
Your
opposite way.
thingy's
That's
in the
fine.
way.
Just go back this way.
Okay, I'll go back
This
this
is what he's doing, and then when I say stop, he holds it tight. See?
It's a forearm workout. Hold that sucker
And my
down.
clamps are still on the end, so my clamps kind of go central with what we were doing here. But yeah, that is what he is down there actually doing. That's what I'm telling him to do, so that I don't have to go and unclamp everything over and over again. Isn't that wonderful? So if you guys have a wonderful husband to help you, or a best friend, or a cousin, or a sister, or aunt and uncle, have them give themselves a forearm workout with standing at the end of your machine so you can have continuous stitching without breaking thread. Or the extra steps. I know some people want the extra steps, but I don't because my legs hurt. But you never know. Someone might help you. They just have to stand there and hold it nice and tight.
Well, standing tall. The movie neither, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, advance. That to the back. Turn to the back. How about that? Turn to the back, turn to the front. Are those good enough where it's tight?
Just say turn it. For somebody who doesn't want to turn any more than that, that's as far as you're getting.
That's fine.
Is that good?
That's fine. I think it makes it fun too because we get to do it together. You know, he gets to help out with the quilts, just not the quilting part. Although I already told him when I'm done with my next client quilt, I'm going to load a practice quilt and I'm going to let him stitch a line without rules because the last one had rules and he had to try to follow the line. And he didn't do so good.
It's quite hard. The machine is very touchy. Any little
a lot more.
teeny... Oh, sorry.
I'm at almost stop right there.
Any little teeny bump moves that thing. So yeah, my line was not straight. I had to pick it out.
Oh, I broke thread.
I learned how to pick. Okay, it says teamwork, yes.
Yes.
And plus I get to finally help her do something.
This is the third time now I broke thread today.
Pepsi Girl says hi to us and others here. I do tend to watch and not chat, but
That's
I had
fine.
to say I'm so happy to hear the excitement from you both. Your new connection is working fantastically well.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yes, thank you very much, Pepsi Girl. It's an ongoing event. They started yesterday. They were here today, and they got to come back in another 3 days. But so far, everything is hooked up and working.
It will be
hopefully even better in 3 days from now.
As long as my YouTube keeps bringing in the almost $50 a month, that helps us $50 a month more towards the stupid internet costing so much.
I mean, it's more than 50, but yes.
Yeah, well, it's more than that. We have to add from our end, but YouTube only pays, I only get about $50 a month. The more subscribers I end up with, maybe that'll finally go up with more views, but once my videos are good, hopefully it goes up, I should say. But I'm not.
From you guys watching commercials.
Yep. And the views. It comes from the views.
Well, I know. Commercial money, there's all kinds of different stuff.
Oops, stay right there, machine. Don't start roll. Stay down. There you go. I'm really hoping we're getting to that part where I'm gonna know if I'm like matching up my lines or not. Let's see. This one's gonna be 1 inch that way. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's perfect.
Is it? Can I
yes.
come
Look.
Can I come look?
So if I was to go 1 inch from this side, here's on the inch line. If I come on this, there's the inch line.
I see.
Perfect. My lines met up, guys. Look at that. Perfect.
You're doing good. See,
because I didn't want to use my other hand.
Do I need to roll this at all since I left go? Is it good?
No, it's as long as you keep it tight. It's fine.
Okay, I'm keeping it tight.
That was like the perfect. Perfect. So my lines should be equal throughout this whole entire quilt. Yay! Okay, advance or roll, whatever. Same thing. Right there. That's good. Come on. Right there. Here we go. Back to the wedge. I'm so happy that it's lining up. So I'm going to end, same as that other corner where I hit the corner and then go up a little bit.
Do you want me to roll it?
Right there. Yeah, now roll. And then the last of it, I'll work up here and then work out here. You don't have to hold it no more. You know what I mean? Because then this section is by itself, and then when we get to that side.
You don't want me to hold it right now?
No, you can hold it right now, yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Just a second, and then we're going to pop the snaps in. And see, my thread is tangled again. Hold on, let's see if I can.
I can see that down here.
Yeah, it's a thread tangle. It's fine though.
Do we need to pick that out?
No, I'm just gonna leave it thick like that. It's no big deal. Not for me at least. I just need that little pucker.
Donna has little clap hand emoji type pictures.
All right, so come right about here. Now pop them in. And then tighten it. No, tighten it before you pop it. There you go. Thank you. That's still loose. Still too loose.
It's the bottom one.
There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right.
Says I am quilting with a ruler too, but not on a long arm, so I do not have one anymore. As I and she says she's got to get some breakfast. Be right back. Okay, Heather.
I know I haven't even eaten lunch yet. I need to eat lunch soon. I'll probably stop after this section. Come back to it later when I can jam on my music.
She rocks out, guys. She has fun out here.
I don't think
Judy says I watched your video with CJ making his pillows. Oh my.
Oh yeah, that's a long time ago. That was like what, 2 Valentine's days ago?
That was like 2 years ago. He was in middle school, so yeah, 2-3 years ago. She says I try to watch when I am quilting or doing dishes, etc. Some videos I have watched 2 or 3 times. I live alone, and it's really nice to have company. Well, that's awesome, Judy. Thank you for that. I'm glad Tiff gets to keep you company. Oh, honey, did you hear that? Well, Judy, what do you think after just watching that video and now watching this one? Is this one much clearer?
Obviously. That's an old-ass video.
I'm sure it is. I want to hear that.
I was on the Samsung Galaxy S4 back then.
They are your fans. I want to hear from your fans. If they like the new internet, if they like I want to hear what they do and don't like. Maybe some of the things they don't like we can change. Probably not right away, but slowly but surely, like the internet, we finally changed.
I already know one person doesn't like the commentary from you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's it, though. All right, now come down
What
this.
did I do wrong?
Nothing.
They just don't like me reading the comments?
Sometimes you talk over me, blah, 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 things like that.
You told me to talk over you
Yeah.
because I can never keep up with the comments because you talk the whole time.
It's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's their opinion, not mine.
Oh.
It's not really in there anyway. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish this whole area right here. And then I'm going to go off because I'm getting starving. All this talk about food and blah, 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 blah is making me want to eat some food.
Lily says, husband chairs in the shop. I have to wait on him till it gets home. But I love watching how talented you are.
I have a little boo-boo in this one. And I'm not going to pick it out. I'm just going to go alongside it. Oh, well. So you guys can see my little boo-boo right there. To me, I really can care less. I'm really starting to think I'm not even going to bother picking out the top where I didn't like it. I'm just going to leave it. It's all me. Shaky mistakes and all.
Well, I can help you pick if you need. We have more than one of those thingies.
Seam ripper.
Yeah. That too.
So overall, with the movement of the machine, the whatchamacallit is focusing better. So you guys can keep on seeing the thread more clearer and accurately as I'm stitching. As long as the thread color is different than the fabric, obviously. I know black on black is not going to be the best of videos when I do those, but as long as I'm using a color different thread, it should be good.
Judy says, yes, for sure, it's so much better. She says, keep on talking. Kay says she likes it when I'm there.
It's easier for me when he's here because I can't read the comments while I'm quilting, and then it slows me down, and then the videos end up 5.5 hours long of me trying to read comments. Well, not really that long, but you guys know what I mean.
Well, I don't like talking over you. I hate doing it, but sometimes I will never get any of the comments in if I don't just talk
All right,
behind you.
so there's the cross-hatching. You can see where I had to, restop and start, and you can see my little itty-bitty boo-boos. That happens. There's no such thing as perfect. And then my thread break that happened right there. But other than that, it looks awesome. The cross-hatching matches up with the top cross-hatching, which I will just go ahead and show you guys what I mean by that before getting off of here completely.
Someone wants to talk to you. This Pepsi girl says this is the first time I have been able to actually see the stitching. My eyes are not just your whatever. What do you keep the most from? GoFundMe, PayPal, then I can donate something to help you.
GoFundMe, I think, is the one that doesn't take that much. It's PayPal takes like in total 3%, or no, was it 4% totally?
I don't remember. Both of them don't take very much, but you don't have to donate at all.
YouTube takes the most. They take 30% or more of all of my earnings, all of my super chats, all of my everything. So I'm gonna pop this real quick so
Donna
you guys
says
can
I was
see.
always told boo-boos disappear when the quilt is washed.
Oh yeah. All right, so you can see the cross-hatching from up here? It matches with down here. And even if it was slightly off, it still reads that it's perfect. You know what I mean? And then from that section up there with the cross-hatching, let me flatten it back out now. You can see that the lines, look at that, they go all the way up across there. And then obviously I haven't gone to this section up here yet, on this side, but those lines should meet down below with those lines. And then these ones, when I go to quilt this other side, should meet up.
Grammy
And then
Quilter says, great job.
you guys never really got to see the full spirally thing, so because my video was so crappy.
That's a good name, Grammy Quilter.
So there's what the spirally thing
I like
actually
it.
looks like, since now I have better quality video. So now you guys can see what that section looks like. And it's so awesome because it's all four of those are pressed down like that, and it just gives it this look. Like when I'm done and pull this off the frame completely, it's going to be amazing. So that's what those look like. And then every single other one of these and these, I mean, you can even see the stitching now in the white. You can see it's the wishbone / corset. I think the name corset is better for that stitch, but
Kay says that's cool.
and then let me pop that back again. Pop that back in. And then obviously the border has the flowers that I slowly have been continuing on my way down. This is all that's left of the quilt now. As you can see, I'm literally at the end. I'm not going to film any more of it because you really don't need to see, but I have left is these flying geese units, which have, if you remember the first video I did, the border, showed you how to do the flower border, and then the what looks like a spirograph type treatment here, and then the little echoes that are in here with my only curved ruler that fits in the section create this, the loopy thing that's at the ends of these in this area too. So it kind of blends all the different areas together. And then the back side, as you guys can see, my back fabric pretty much like matches really nicely. It's not even from the same company, but it really goes good with this. So, and the thread matches perfectly, which is called Mint. It is glide thread and the color is Mint. So that's that.
Judy says yes, can see that now. Love it.
Okay, so you guys should be able to see really nicely now out here. And I'm glad because that was the whole point. This whole videoing thing, it was getting worse, it seemed like. And then on Sundays, I always had problems because everyone's at home on a Sunday, and they're all on the internet at the same time. So hopefully my Sew Sunday video will be consistent with less interruptions and more clearer picture. So that's a plus. And I don't have to buy a new device. I can just work with the device I have. So, all right, guys. Well, I thank you for hanging out with me while I did some cross-hatching. I'll finish the rest later. And when the quilt is done, you'll obviously see me bind this thing because I always...
Yeah, you can see how clear that crack is now.
Oh, yeah.
That looks horrid.
Yeah, we have a big crack in the
goodness.
ceiling. It's horrible. It's falling apart.
Well, yeah,
more
but
and
normally
more.
they don't barely see it. Now I see it. Wow.
Yeah, it's falling apart more and more. Anyway, what was I saying?
Old house.
If you wait for whatever day this will be off, and I'll probably be binding it by Sew Sunday. you know, so we can hang out and sew. Because I don't have no projects in mind right now. I'm trying to complete things, and I have a client quilt I have to load on here next. So between tomorrow and Sunday, there'll
Kim
be a
says it looks
client quilt
amazing.
to do as well. So I will show you guys whatever I do on that, because she just gives me, this client gives me full range to just do whatever I please on her quilts, and she absolutely loves it every time. She just does
Teresa
not
says
want
looks wonderful.
heavy quilting. That's her only request, is she doesn't want it all tight like this is, although she did like the spirally thing on this one. She's like, oh my God, that's so awesome. But yeah, she doesn't want tons of heavy quilting in small areas, but she's open to whatever I come up with. So that'll be next. It's a purple batik quilt. It's actually really pretty. It's not very big either, so it shouldn't take long. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. My videos should now be a lot better, and you'll want to watch them. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on your way out, and comment if you're watching the replay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, it's not pressing the button.
Teresa said it looks wonderful.